this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, bringing you another edition of Keep Modern Janky. I mean, we have the turn 1 ramp spell. We do not have a turn 3 land destruction spell without help from our opponent. So I think we're just going to follow our rules and mulligan that one away. This is better. We have a turn 3, or turn 2 Stone Rain into a turn 3 Magmatic Hellkite. So we will probably... just put, keep. Put that on the bottom. Get the party started with a basic forest. So we just really want to make a land drop. We want to draw, we have 2 turns to draw a land. We'll Stone Rain the first land, unless it's indestructible. Hopefully draw into a land, and then start blowing up their things with Magmatic Hellkite. Pillage. Well, I mean, if we're not going to make up one land, if we're going to miss land drops, we might as well make our... Alright, we need another turn. We have one more turn to make a land drop. To find a land so that we can get this Magmatic Hellkite down on time. We would love to pillage away something. See, now they're going to play around it. So this is where Bitter Reunion could be good. Obsidian Charmaw, not a land. So opponent being smart, holding up their fetches. Probably going to go get a basic. Oh, I'm going to go. Maybe we're playing energy. I haven't played energy with Ponza yet. I feel like it's got to be a bad matchup for us. Certainly bad when you're missing lands. That second Magmatic Hellkite's looking a little greedy right now. This is Storm. We're playing, well, it looks like we're up against Storm of some kind. Well, we are unable to find our own land, so we will continue to blow up theirs. All we need is one land, deck. How hard is it to draw us into a land? Our opponent's probably thinking the same thing. I hate playing against Storm. It's just the worst. Do we take a turn off of blowing up their lands to play an Arbor Elf? I think the answer is no. We're going to continue blowing up their lands until we can't do it anymore. Do they make a land drop? They do. This time it's a basic mountain. Ah, sigh. Our greed is punished. Who knows what they could have done though. We'll play an Arbor Elf. We're going to hold on to our dragons. Storm's going to win the turn. I mean, they're almost certainly going to win the turn that they go off. And they only need 2 lands to do that. So we're going to hold on to our land destruction and hopefully dragons and hopefully just beat their face in the air and blow up any other lands they play and hopefully not have to take a whole... Hopefully... Ooh, Molten Rain is a non-basic. Destroy target. Oh, it's a target land too. Alright, well... Sorry, dude. Sorry, not sorry. So we can go to 3, 1, 2, 3. That's not going to get us there. Alright, well... It's possible we've taken too conservative of a line without playing these dragons earlier, as soon as we could, but we'll see. Now, I mean, they're going to have to play, and they have another basic mountain. I mean, we have a clock. Will our opponent still be able to storm off through our land hate? It is quite possible. It is very possible that they can. They need to find another land. They've managed to find basic mountains. So good for them. Having a lightning bolt does make me feel a little bit better, but even then, it is often not enough. So how much land destruction does it take to beat a deck that needs 2 mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you count the dragon, but it didn't blow up anything. Okay, they're dead on board with his bolt in hand. Hopefully they'll miss their land drops and won't be able to go finish us off. Yes. Just how we drew it up. They're going to do something with their 1 mana. No, they're not. Kind of discard. I mean, look how cheap their deck is, too. 2 mana, 2 mana, 2 mana. Alright, just almost a flawless victory there. Should I feel bad? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I should feel bad. What do we want to bring in against them? Endurance to take out the graveyard. Force of Vigors just to answer the mana rocks. Do we have to answer the mana rocks? Obsidian Charmaw, probably not at its best in this game, but it is still a finisher for us. I wonder how angry our opponent is. I would be pretty annoyed. Thing is, Storm is such an obnoxious deck to play against. They just... I mean, we could bring in Glorybringers. I mean, when Storm wins, right? Alright, this is a turn 2, turn, multiple land destructions. And a lightning bolt. Alright, when Storm wins, they win, like, all they do is play, they get to play Magic all by themselves. I'm having a hard time talking here. It's like solitaire. You sit there and you watch them take a 5-minute turn as they do all their things, make all the mana, cast all these spells, draw all these cards, flip their Ral, draw their deck, and finally grave shot you out after getting a card from their sideboard with Wish and using Past in Flame. So it's like a 5 to 10 minute turn that they play all by themselves. So I'm not going to feel too bad that we're going to just hopefully destroy everything that all their lands from here on out. Problem is if they Ruby Medallion, that's one of their payoffs, so we can't So I think we're going to end up having to pillage the Ruby Medallion, unfortunately. I mean, it's such a big enabler for them. And they could still go off this next turn. They can still just untap, play Ral, play a land, and then chain together a bunch of spells. So, where Shield's down, they have 2 mana. Maybe that will slow them down enough. Okay. Till the end of your next turn. Alright, hopefully that's the end of their turn when they don't have another land. That would make me super happy. Because then we can... They do have another land. That's unfortunate. I say we can maybe blow up a land and then... Oh no, not the prismatic ending. We really needed that land. So we can Field of Ruin, blow this up or blow that up, one it doesn't really matter, and then have a mountain to bolt the Ral. I think we have to go that route, unfortunately. What do we want to do? We wait for their upkeep. We were really hoping to I mean, the fact that they brought in Prismatic Ending against us does mean they may be down a few of their pieces. So that might, they're slowing us down, but hopefully it'll slow them down just as much. Three lands is a lot for Storm. We're behind, right? If we can draw into a land and play Magmatic Hellkite, that'll at least give us a clock. Here comes the Ral. Surprised they didn't do Manamorphose first, but... Oh, I guess the Manamorphose is just a single mana. With the Ral out, yeah. So opponent, I mean, right now they're in a position to... If we draw into a land, we will at least have something in the air to start putting a clock on our opponent. However, they're going to have enough land to go off in a single turn if they have everything they need. Or they can just go off right now. Yep, going to pay 1 mana to get 3 mana. They have 3 cards in hand. Can they cast enough to flip the Ral? They need... Oh, they're trying to win the flip so they can transform it. I see. Man, we're getting kind of lucky. They keep losing their flip. They win their flip. So then I assume they transform it and nerf our lightning bolt, but I'm not sure if that is exactly... If you lose the flip, if you win... Oh yeah, return him, so... He gets exiled in response to the lightning bolt. Comes back if they want, and then they don't have to... Yep. Five loyalty. Gonna go digging. So this is a good sign. I mean, that they are digging means they don't have exactly what they need. The bad news is they have a transformed Ral. If this hand had been on the play, I think we would have been in a much better position. Yeah. At least they're tapped out. No, they still have 2 red. Never mind. But they are tapped out. Put it on top. What do we need? I mean, we don't have the ability to do 2 things in a turn, especially without the Utopia Sprawl. There maybe would have been hope, when not even then, honestly. So what we're really hoping for is a basic land, so that then we can... Or an untapped land, so we can blow up this and force them to shuffle. And shuffle away whatever it is on top, although it may already just be over for us. And this is what I was talking about, right? The obnoxiousness of Storm. You just you have a turn that goes for 5 to 10 minutes where you're the only one playing Magic. So I guess I'm just still a nice person and feel like leaving an opponent with a single land isn't very fun to play against. But you know what? Storm is not much fun to play against. So no mercy. We will try to blow up all your lands. Yep. And they hit some lands. That's good. Sure, they're out of cards. We cannot find a land. It's 23 lands in the deck, and this is not the first time we have not been able to find a land. Destroy target land. We'll do 2 damage to you. And we know they have more lands coming, but they also only have 0 cards in hand, and they're seeing two lands. So there's a world in which they whiff when we find an actual land, and then another one, and we start taking them out that way. Because they do need a few things. They need more than 1 card to go off usually, unless that card happens to be Past in Flames. But that is a 5 mana spell, so they found something. And a 4 mana spell, but actually it doesn't cost 4 mana when your opponent has a Ruby Medallion out and that out, and they have a Grape Shot, so I think we can go ahead and scoop it up. There's our land. So yeah, I mean, we just got really kind of mana screwed ourselves. And everything they do is at instant speed, so we want bringing in a Force of Vigor, we can cast it, just like we saw the Lightning Bolt. They nerf it by flipping the Ral, or they'll respond with a bunch of instant speed spells. I mean, we're going to run it back, and we're just going to hope that our turn 2 land destruction and on, and we'll make land drops and draw what we need. We'll keep them off of what they're trying to do. I wonder what viewers would you consider the worst, the more hateful deck, mine or theirs? Okay, well, it's a turn 2 Magmatic Hellkite into a turn 2 Magmatic Hellkite. But we need another green source for that. This Arena of Glory is going to enter tapped. So we go get a Stomping Ground. You play an Arbor Elf. I think we gotta try mulligan and hopefully not get super punished. Okay, we got super punished. Okay, so we're gonna need to keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. They just kept a 7. How nice for them. Maybe we should have kept the first 7. I mean, it was risky. If we didn't find what we needed, we were going to be super slow. This is the kind of hand we want, where we're going to start blowing up their lands as early as turn 2. Except they're going to have a Wooded Foothills. Alright, well, we need to make land drops. So that's good for us. And now we need to find dragons. So this is one way to fight against Ponza. You play a lot of fetch lands, and then you wait until your opponent, until you have everything you need, and then you fetch up everything. Because now we have multiple ways of interacting with what they're doing, but no way to actually, no lands to target. So they could theoretically just crack both their fetches at the end of our turn and win on their turn. And if we play this Magmatic Hellkite for no value, they're going to do that anyway and win. So I mean, they're playing it the way they're supposed to, which is one reason why Ponza is always going to have some. Man, they don't even fetch yet. They're just waiting. They're waiting 3 fetches. It's good for them, I guess. We can strike it rich and flash it back. I think we're just going to have to go for it, force their hand a little bit. At least put a clock. But I mean, not doing anything isn't going to change anything either. They're playing until they have enough lands to fetch and go off in the same turn, and that's what's about to happen probably. We could have played the dragon last turn just to have gotten in 4 more damage, but then they would be at 15 when they go off instead of 19. So I mean, they kept the 7. They probably kept the 7. Hopefully they kept the 7 on the back of a bunch of fetch lands, and that they need pieces now to function. Now we have a target for one of our land destruction spells, should they not go off on their turn, which, I mean, I can't imagine they won't, to be honest. But should they not, we can blow up one of their lands, swing in for 4, start, or we can blow up a Ruby Medallion if they manage to, if that's what they have instead of a Ral. But I'm really thinking they must be looking at another land. That's what I would guess. A land or some piece that they need in the future, but that they're not ready to cast yet, and they need another land. Feels like that's probably more what it is. They probably need another land or want another land, and now they're deciding if they want to cast this. And endurance would make me feel good, and then we can start beating face and put on top. Endurance would at least make me feel like we had some, and they're going to go ahead and crack. Had some kind of, so they thought really long and hard about putting that land on top, or leaving that on top, and then they decided to fetch. So maybe they decided, I don't know what they were in the tank so long for, to be honest, but okay. Yep, can I pick something else? Guess not. Oh, man. Okay. Do we die, opponent? Are we dead? 8 cards in hand, and all the mana in the world for a storm. And another fetch land. Yep, go for it. Now they're gonna, looks like they're gonna go probably, I'd guess, Ral or Ruby Medallion into 8 spells. 8 to 10 spells into some kind of finisher. Okay, Metamorphose, digging. They do not have either Ral or the... I think of all the decks that I hate playing against, Storm might be at the top of the list. In the top 3 for sure. Because there's just so much watching. Amulet Titan, there's a lot of watching, right? But then the turn they go off, there is an inevitability about it where you can just scoop when you see the Titan or this right combination. And since I've played Amulet Titan in my own way, it's fun to watch and to observe and to see, try to pick up some tips from watching people who know better how to play it than I do. But Storm, man, is just, yeah, it's just not any fun to play against. No, they're going to fetch. They're going to cast whatever that card is, Silence. The chant. Yeah, Orange Chant. So maybe we can get a Field of Ruin. So buying some time for themselves. It is a Field of Ruin. How nice. But they have plenty of basics. So this is really not ideal for us. Alright, well they didn't have it that turn. Do they have it this turn? I mean, it's just the boredom. The boredom is real, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we draw a land next turn, we can blow up 2 lands. Did they draw into what they needed after the shuffle? The blind draw into a Ral. No, I'm still digging. Maybe I do have a green Boros land hate deck. Maybe I'll throw in Orm's Chant so that we can both blow up their lands and stop opponents from doing things. Just to be the most hateful deck I can come up with. I mean, it's kind of Boros taxes. It's what Death and Taxes tries to do in its own way. I'm also just not sure what my opponent's in the tank so much for. They haven't found what they need, it looks like. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the tank. They must have another Orm's Chant, and that's what they're trying to decide. Do they cast it? Yeah, good. Congratulations. You have some hate cards against us. And we don't get to do anything. So now it's I want to say bad things. The games of solitaire continue. And the games of hate continue. They're hating us out of doing casting spells and attacking, and we're trying to hate them out of playing lands. Or casting their spells because they don't have any lands. That's what we're trying to do, folks. And they're currently still digging for their pieces, finding ways to hate us out of casting spells and attacking. They're buying themselves so much time, but they must not have it, and they're having to just get lucky to draw one of their 8 cards to go off. And maybe they won't find it before we can finally do something. At this point, I guess if we find another land and we get to cast spells and we're not dead, we'll just blow up these 2, or maybe these 2 probably, and attack. And then the following, maybe we'll blow up 1 white and 1 red, and the following turn have Obsidian Charmaw to blow up the last one. The only thing that makes playing against Storm worse is the long turns. Wish. Congratulations. What are you going to go wish for? A land. Oh, God. I mean, they must be doing math or something. And it is a friendly league, so it could be that people aren't as experienced playing. Prismatic ending on our Utopia Sprawl. Okay, well, there we still need a land, but we won't be able to double land destruction now. I mean, Magmatic Hellkite does take them off of their land for a turn and gives us a little bit faster of a clock. But it does also mean that they probably found a Past in Flames or something and we'll be able to go off. Sigh. I mean, that could have been too greedy. The alternative would have been to strike it rich and Stone Rain, so that next turn they have less lands. Because they can't Past in Flames without another land. And even then, I don't think they're in a position to go off with it. Lightning Bolt would just be game if we can get to turn 8 here. No second white. So that means unless they have it in their hand. Another long thinking session from our opponent. Trying to decide if they can win from here with their 3 mana. What's better than blowing up all your opponent's lands? Just drawing a lightning bolt and winning, should we get to untap. Sigh. Long turns. I mean, I feel like we may be dodging. They're just getting unlucky with some of it. They've drawn some sideboard cards against us, and they wished for something, but they don't have the pieces yet. So they've drawn 3 sideboard cards and a bunch of fetch lands. So I feel like they must have kept a hand with fetch lands and maybe some sideboard cards, and then they don't have what they need to storm off. And we are just desperate for them to play Magic at this point. All right, Pyretic Ritual. Now they're going to Past in Flames, perhaps. To what end? Are they going to be able to make another Pyretic Ritual? It's math that was tripping them up. And, I get that. Math is hard. I'm also bad at math. Desperate Ritual. 6 manas. Splicing Desperate Ritual. Alright, so now for every spell... Okay, no, that only happened once. Now, yeah, we'll F6 and watch the boring show, but maybe they will grape shot us to death. 3 cards in hand. I assume one is Past in Flames that they got from the sideboard with Wish. At which point they can recast everything in their graveyard, but none of that stuff does anything for them yet. So they still need, and that's, I guess then they'll probably wish for a grape shot. Oh, yawn. Can you please go any slower? So slow. Yeah, wow. Another one. You did another Desperate Ritual. Holy cow. I had no idea. I mean, I get it. It's harder with when you don't have the cost reduction. You have to do more math. But if I see the line, I mean, you're counting to see if you can get to 19, I guess. That's fine, but you got to do it or don't. Just do it. You know, Past in Flames, good. Yeah. Now they're going to do it all again, then flash it back. Make all the kinds of manas. Flash it back. And then kill us with a grape shot, I guess. I mean, there's 2 Orms chance. They'd buy him enough time. They don't. The only thing that's saving us right now and keeping me from just straight up scooping is they don't have mana. They don't have a cost reduction yet. They only have a little bit of card draw. So the 2 Manamorphoses are going to draw them cards. They're going to make a lot of. They're going to make a lot of mana. Fine. I don't know why it's taking them so long to do so, but they're going to make a lot of mana. Then they're going to draw 2 cards, and then we'll see if we live or not. I guess maybe they can. They're trying to decide if they want to storm, like Grape Shot or Hellkites. And so if they can't kill us, they might as well kill the dragons, because then they are dead to a bolt. I just don't. Maybe they're okay. I'm just having to fill time here. Maybe they're deciding whether or not they want to go all in now or wait until the next turn when they can flash back Past in Flames and have some things to target. If that's the case, you need to be casting Manamorphose sooner rather than later. Maybe I'll just delete this entire section of the game until they finally resolve a spell, and then you can figure it out from there. Wish, enter the exile zone. Wait a minute, you got your wish back with Past in Flames and all the mana? Oh, now you're going to Artist Talent to dig? I guess that's part of the problem, they just don't have it. Now they have non-creature spells costing 1 less. And now they can Manamorphose and make some manas and go off a little bit more. I can see why it was so hard. That is a lot of math and a lot of thinking. So they're going to draw back up to 3. They still don't have, apparently they do not have a Grape Shot. Ay. Are they going to Past in Flames flashback? I don't see why they would. I think you Manamorphose. If you don't draw it, you just cut your losses. Okay, yeah, they're going to keep discarding and drawing. Another Past in Flames. Digging. I mean, now, I guess, what are they digging for? A Groul? I guess that's what they're digging. Because a Groul would allow them to flip it, get 8 new cards, get their storm count up to something obscene. Oh, if you're still watching, you should just stop. Our opponent's going down to under 5 minutes. That's how long it's taking us to die. So if you're still with us, here's a question for you, a moral question. If you're up against an opponent who's playing Storm like this, and they time out, and they say, well, I have you dead. I just haven't been able to execute my combo yet. But I have it. You can see it. Past in Flames. I have a wish again. I will kill you, but I just run out of time. So you should concede. What do you do? Do you concede or do you not concede? Because I know what I would do, having sat here this long. I would not take the high road. I would say, sorry, dude, don't play a deck that takes you so long to click. Time is the thing we all have to deal with in Magic. And if you can't play your deck fast enough and you make me sit through it all, I'll take the win. But I have a feeling, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they'll go off. Pyretic Ritual, making more mana. Past in Flames. I mean, they pitched a Ruby Medallion, because I guess they already have the reduced cost. Just digging for that Rowl or trying to hit that Storm count, one or the other. As soon as they can cast a Grape Shot, please just show us the Grape Shot and we can all go home. Hey, they made a land drop. Yay. They made a land drop. They needed that extra red so they could have 6 mana. It's a wish. Holy cow. They cast another wish, this time for Grape Shot. Should I just let them do each individual trigger to see if they time out? It's a Grape Shot. I kind of want to. I mean, I kind of just feel like I have to. Like, having to sit through this entire thing, I might as well make them click. No one's going to make it to the end of this anyway. And if you do, you can enjoy the salty not scooping of making our opponent do all the clicks. Yep, you're doing it. You got us. You did it. You did it. You got there. Oh man, well, I hope you enjoyed that demonstration of Storm's power and flexibility for CyclesGaming.com. This is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all on the next one. What were we going to draw?